Elements meridians, we teach the basics at first, about the basics of course, the meridian, and how the meridians will flow. The large intestine meridian flows along here, and then it comes up and crosses over and goes to the stomach meridian and goes down the body. And so we look at each of the meridians in the flow, and some people know that and some people don't, which doesn't matter to us because we review it. And then we look at some of the points on the meridian and what they do. And whether you know it or not doesn't matter, we review it. Then we look at how they're grouped into houses. And that didn't happen originally in Chinese medicine. Originally, they came up with some meridians, the 8 extra meridians, the extra ordinary flows, and then they came up with these flows, and then of course they went to the 5 elements later, and then more recent, some other things that we could discuss, and we discuss in the class. So we look at the meridians, and then we look how they get grouped. We look at the yin and yang of them, and we look at the time of the day. We look at how they relate to each other, and then we look at the flow and how to help them flow. In that, then we look at the emotional side of it, in how you can group them in certain ways that you can flow the energy of emotions, but it also helps the physical world at the same time. It's so cool. And if someone doesn't know what their emotional feeling is, it doesn't matter. You can flow this even if they have no idea what they're emotionally feeling, and they can be calmed and relax. So I had a young man the other day who has come before what I did a lot of emotional work, and very ADHD child, very much impatient. And I just did the elements of meridians with his eyes first, because he was having a lot of brainwave activity that was erratic. And I didn't do an EKG on him or any of those CAT scans, but they did on their own. They did their own little work. They came in, and so I started working with the eyes and his behavior, and did elements of meridians, and it came up different meridians and different elements, and all of a sudden he noticed immediately he was more awake, because what he would do is get really tired and then he'd get hyper, and then he'd get really tired and get hyper. And so that shifted really fast, and then he could think quickly, where before even though he was really bright because of what was happening, he would suddenly go blank and dull, and he couldn't think at all, and then he'd think really fast and talk really fast, and then he'd go dull. And just very quickly doing some work with him, all of a sudden his language changed, behavior changed, with just bringing the elements and helping them flow in many ways, in a flowing of nourishing them, having instructions, understanding, having the flow in many different forms, and then we grounded that frequency. We helped ground it in a way that his emotional state went, oh, because most of the time, if you see a child scattered and going all over the place, we think, oh, the scattering's the problem. We think, oh, they just don't know the rules. No, they're running from something. There's something inside their body they don't want to face. So they're going like this, if they're scattered or if they're shut down. They're running from something. And what we want to do is calm the body enough so it actually goes there, and we can ground the real issue and help them calm down so they don't have to be scattered to be grounded. Even though it doesn't look like they're grounded, that's the only way they feel safe. So in this Elements and Meridians first class, we don't go to all the possible combinations of problems. We go to, there is a stress. Now when we have a stress, let's find a way to help balance it. It's more of bringing a tool of balancing. Once you have that, then in additional courses on Elements Meridians, we talk about nutrition and how to balance that in an awesome way. I mean, it's amazing how balanced protein digestion with just energy. It's amazing. I'm just excited. Okay, but and balance, just being really sad all the time. I mean, isn't that great that you have balancing tools? And so additional classes to look on more additional issues. Beginning one is just making sure you get some of that grounding tool that you can use in anything. Once you have that tool, then we add to it, and everything relates, and it just flows, and it's very, very, very safe.